Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The politics and situation in New Zealand was not something that I was very interested in. But once coronavirus thing started, I was very interested in what's going on over there, since there were some policies that I thought they were not free, that would characterize a free society, a free country with free people. And whenever you hear the democratic and free world, I don't think that New Zealand qualifies. And that has happened since they had this person over there in charge. And I could not believe with what naughty, very tyrannical, in my assessment, policies the New Zealand's government came up with. So let's look here at another one, which is unbelievably communist, or not communist, tyrannical. This article comes from Yahoo News and it's from October 11th, 2022. The author is Ben Adler. This is the title. New Zealand proposes COW-burp tax to fight climate change. So New Zealand's government on Tuesday proposed taxing farm animals' greenhouse gas emissions as part of its efforts to reduce the population that is causing the pollution that is causing climate change. Really? Well, we're breathing and we release some CO2. When are you guys going to charge us a tax? How about we deplete the oxygen levels on this planet by breathing in and breathing out, right? Oh my God, are you going to measure our lung capacities and tax us according to that? And then you make a little study and you figure out how many breaths we take a minute, and based on that and the capacity, lung capacity of each individual, you will tax us? And then you're going to limit the number of children we can have so they cannot pollute? Because the children will fart. The children will do other stuff. And we have to buy stuff. So if we have to buy stuff, you're going to charge me for everything that caused pollution, right? The process to create this probably caused pollution. So that means you're going to charge me on top of everything else for pollution tax, each and everything. I'm going to pollute, as I said, my being alive. You're going to create a tax, live or a live tax. Yeah, they are. Who are these people? Now I know this person who's doing all this, and her name is what? Jacinda Ardern. Jacinda, Prime Minister. She is a tyrant. I saw how she spoke to the New Zealanders. She spoke like she is in charge. She is the boss. She is a queen. She's an empress. And you guys are her subject. That's the way she treated you. I saw her speech at United Nations a few weeks ago, or a week ago, or not even. And she was talking about someone needs to be the overseer of what's true and what's not true. And guess who that might be? Jacinda? Yeah, and her government. She's going to decide what you say, if it's true or not, or if it's misinformation or disinformation. We can't let this be like that. This is a tyrant, straight in your face. Tyrant. And now they want to charge you a tax, levy a tax on you. What's going on here? Not even the communists thought that far. So let's see. The tax would be the world's first on animal emissions, including those from burps and urination, which contribute to rising global temperatures. If you ask questions, does it mean immediately that you're a denier? If you ask questions for clarification, just because you are skeptical does mean you're a denier? So if someone tells you that the banks are giving money for free with no interest and nothing? Should I ask questions, clarifications, or am I denier if I say, well, really? Tell me where that bank is. Tell me how it works. You're a denier. Would it be fair for me to ask? If I go to a bank and I try to get a loan and the banker gives me a lot of information and I have some questions, am I a denier of the existence and the fairness of the bank? Well, you're considered a denier by these people like Jacinda or whatever, Juicy. She's not juicy. Don't worry about that one. You don't have to be. Anyway, the plan, according to the government, would be economically beneficial because global consumers are becoming more eco-conscious, and the revenues generated by the tax would go to research and technology for capturing animal emissions and to incentive payments for farmers. So you take my taxes and you redistribute them to me or to others. Why don't you let me use my money the way I feel like? Why don't you take your global warming and you just do it whatever, which they do to you? Well, guys, if you agree, if they have the mass media and you're gonna go along with that, that's fine. What I think it is, other idiots will do the same thing and even more, because idiots usually try to outbid the other idiots in their idiocracy. And she is the champion as of now. We'll see who's gonna take over. Another, I'm assuming Lizzie, maybe Lizzie Trussy or Annalena Baerbock, foreign minister of Germany. These are the contenders here. So New Zealand's farmers are set to be the first in the world to reduce agriculture emission. Yes. How about, I don't want to go that way. I'm too angry about it. It's just the first in the world to reduce agriculture emissions, positioning our biggest export market for the competitive advantage to bring in a world increasingly discerning about the provenance of their food. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, whatever, said. It's unbelievable, guys. Yeah. So a largely rural agricultural country, New Zealand has 5 million people and roughly 10 million cattle and 26 million sheep. Okay? According to government data from 2019, 37% of the country's greenhouse gas emissions were from methane, and 88.4% of its methane emissions came from livestock. About 3/4 came from cows, with the rest coming from sheep. The New Zealand government has committed to reaching zero net emissions by 2050, including, are you going to go die over there? Are you going to die? How? Don't breathe in, don't breathe out, okay? Or maybe breathe in but not breathe out. Because if you do that, you're going to emit CO2, you're going to destroy this planet, man. Including a reduction of farm animals' methane emission by 10% by 2030 and 47% by 2050. I have an idea. If you kill all the cattle, you're going to get to zero today. How about that? Unbelievable, people. Unbelievable. So, New Zealand Agriculture Minister, another idiot I'm assuming, Damien O'Connor, contended that reducing climate change is also important to protecting farmers' future livelihood. Yeah, kill their cattle and they will do what? Go into factories that are not there? What are they going to do? Man, these guys, in my assessment, these are criminals. And they're not the only ones, and they have a lot of people with them. Are you going to impose that on everyone? Remember how the British colonies revolution started? Everything started from tea tax levied on them. Tea tax. They placed tax on tea and whatever other little, and stamps and BS. Right? She is a tyrant. That's my bottom line. I feel sorry for you guys in New Zealand. But if you democratically vote for this kind of people, what can I say? That's why you have people who, and that's why I love mass democracy. Because anyone can nullify anybody else's vote, regardless of how much they know about the world and life and all that. So imagine that some people would vote, let's say the proposal would be to, let's say the people with blue eyes should be put in a camp and work for the people with brown eyes. And they vote, and more will be with brown eyes. So that means that we're gonna gather the ones with blue eyes and put them at camps and work, and the brown-eyed people just... Is that how democracy works? When is that gonna be destructive? Like what these guys are doing, say, well, we voted, our government decided. Yeah, but you destroy. What is democracy? What about the example I gave? And not only, I can think of many examples. All of a sudden, guys, you can't own a house. And that's it, because you have a population who likes apartment buildings. That's it. How about then you can't have air conditioning, or let's say heating? Whatever they can think of. You can't ride a bike. You have to ride a bike now with pads, elbow pads, knee pads, everything, or a mouthpiece. What if they do that? Because they have a lot of scaredy fucking people who will do that. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Democratic system, vote, right? And I can think on and on and on. What if they start limiting, a certain kind of group cannot have a certain kind of number of children? You call it discrimination? No, it's not discrimination, because you guys are the bad guys and we are the good guys. So we have to limit evil, right? Like we limit the climate change, right? And cows and the farmers. But then they want food. And guess what? The guys who limit this probably are vegans, okay? Not the ones who enjoy meat and a big steak. So don't you see what's going on here? Is that this group versus the other group? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Am I a denier? I don't give a fuck. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.